Listen, they want direct democracy, which means if 51% say, like Nazi Germany, Hitler was elected, we're going to kill this group, it happens. Well, in a republic, you can't do that. Karl Marx said democracy is the road to socialism. They want to, and you listen to Bill Maher, for example. He wants to do away with the Electoral College. So what is happening? Just they want the cities to be have the primary voice over the rural areas. And I'm thinking to myself, well, our whole republic was based on having the cities and the rural balanced and not having a dominant, overpopulated state dominate a rural state. Right. Well, we're the United States. We're not the united blob of Washington, D.C. So we're not the united coastal elites. Exactly. So the states should have the say. But Bill Maher says, well, why does Montana have, they hardly have any people there at all, but they have 2 senators. So why does California have 2 senators? We should have a lot more senators than Montana. Now, let's explain. They've all got more House members, but for the Senate, there's that check and balance on population. This is all super smart. Why should people in some super far away area be controlled by some far off king of England? We don't want to have this happen again.
I'm tripping out on Germany. They've gone full circle. They went from the Hitler thing to you can't say Hitler anymore, and now they're inviting all these people who hate Jews and want to kill Jews.
Yeah, they're telling Jews in Germany, Sweden, and everywhere, don't wear your yarmulkes.
Yeah, so they like gone full circle. So welcome to your new Nazis, Germany. I was enamored by Europeans. I grew up in the country. It's like you had a French or English accent. It was awesome. Now it's like, what happened to you people?
Well, here's the deal. They had wars in Europe in the last 300 years that killed most of the population, and I'm sorry, a lot of wimps got left. I'm not saying all the men are wimps in Europe. It's just people have been slapped down. So just like they did what Hitler said, look at the 74-year-old Swedish woman prosecuted for criticizing mass immigration. Well, I'm sorry, every Muslim country that you say, wow, why is Germany siding with Islam? Hitler sided with Islam. He didn't like Christianity.
Yeah. If I ever get a dog, I'm going to teach him Sieg Heil, just like that guy in there in the UK.
Oh, yeah, Count Dankula is like a libertarian liberal doing a joke that Charlie Chaplin could do or John Cleese could do, but he's facing years in prison. He's been convicted. Sentences coming up for having a pub say Heil Hitler. And they want to throw you in jail, too. Well, some of them want to, like Al Gore wants to make sure that you get prosecuted for questioning his climate change. Or that he invented the damn internet.
Yeah. I had the Secret Service knock on my door for some tweets. It's like, I can't wait for them to bust my door down at 3 o'clock in the morning because I posted something on Facebook. It's incredible.
But then Madonna could say, I'm going to blow the White House up. It's okay.
Yeah, when I heard that the Secret Service came, they left a little door hanger. They said, oh, well, the Secret Service gives us a call. I was scared at first. For like 2 seconds, I was scared. Then I said something about Lee Harvey Oswald. I said, screw that. When they come back tomorrow, I went to Kinko's. I really big the word Oswald, and I literally papered my whole apartment with that word. I put my AR against the wall, and I opened the windows. I said, "You guys can't come inside, but you can interview me from outside." And I had a blast. It was great. But
this is a good point, though. They want you to be in fear. This is the whole point of this. They're trying to bully us. I don't know about everybody else. I'm not going to be bullied. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Well, we started getting bullied in 1913 with the 16th Amendment when they started wanting to incriminate ourselves and sign our name to a form and give up direct taxes, which were unconstitutional. And this has gotten so bad now that we're working as slaves to the government 1/3 of the year. And the people will fill it out, and they're afraid just because the IRS, they know the IRS can come and seize their goods at any time, and they got to fill out all this stuff, but they want you. This is one of the reasons why we have that, because they want us to be. It's a form of mind control, and fear is a good. And that's what Kanye West is saying. He says, you're not going to use your threats of fear. You're not going to intimidate me to manipulate my free thought. That's his latest thing.
I was here in Austin a couple of weeks ago, and I was shocked. 3 bars asked to leave. They said,
hold on. We're going to play this exclusive Kanye West UT interview we did with UT folks. We'll play that at the first 5 minutes of the next hour. We're going to come back and finish up in a moment.
Someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. Over
20 years ago, Alex Jones created the media platform called InfoWars, and in the decades since, it's grown into a truly remarkable institution with over 200 radio affiliates, tens of millions of unique website visitors monthly, and a 24/7 live news TV channel broadcasting from state-of-the-art studios in Austin, Texas. InfoWars has become the most trusted independent news source in the country, dedicated to delivering breaking news, live coverage of special events, and exclusive reports you won't find anywhere else. While the old guard media struggles to maintain supremacy in a landscape brought by innovation and technology, InfoWars has been at the forefront of the information revolution. From 8 million radio listeners, over 2 million YouTube subscribers, or the billions of views of our online content, InfoWars proves dominant in every facet of media we enter. For the hardest-hitting reports, uncompromising analysis, for high-profile interviews and bombshell revelations, accept no substitutes. Demand InfoWars. InfoWars. Tomorrow's news today.
One of the things I'm really proud of is the fact that doing my own research and talking to top scientists, we knew that there was an iodine conspiracy.
Iodine is in every cell of your body.
Iodine deficiency is the commonest preventable cause of brain damage and loss of IQ in the world.
In fact, over 9% of Americans are low in iodine.
Iodine used to be used in bread as a dough enhancer. Then in the early 1970s, most commercial manufacturers switched to bromide instead. Since 1970, the iodine they collected in urine is 50% less now than it was then.
Research from a World Health Organization study showed that 10 to 50% of people worldwide are deficient in iodine.
Most people, I think everybody, for the most part, should be supplementing with iodine.
And I am so proud of the fact that since I've been promoting iodine the last 5-6 years, it is now all the rage at health food stores, you name it. But none of them are as pure or as clean as the original Survival Shield X2 at InfoWarsLive.com. I was just about to walk out of the studio to pick my children up, and I got some bad news. For the second time in the 5.5-year history of Survival Shield X2, our flagship product, we are having supply chain problems. And this may be the last batch of this. You see, we have to go through the DEA to get this because it is pure atomic iodine. Everything else out there is bound or it's contaminated. It's not absorbable. It's toxic. We have deep earth crystal source that's so pure that it actually turns into purple gas in the atmosphere. It's injected into palm oil, organic palm oil, in a proprietary patented process. And so in our own search to get the purest form, we discovered that oil companies and gas drilling companies had a byproduct that they were selling to pharmaceutical companies and also drug makers that used to make drugs. So the FDA is involved, and that's why the DEA is involved. So it's a major industrial product being used, and then we could actually bring it to the public pure. But you've got to get contracts with oil companies and gas companies to do it. And once they figure there's a market, they start jacking up the price. So we have a run of this, a limited run. We have a good supply right now, maybe 2 months of it. But this may be the clincher. We may not have X2 in this configuration in the future. But we're offering it still 25% off until it sells out. Hopefully, just like the last time this happened a few years ago, it's not an issue. We do get more. Right now, we're not able to secure the crystals that produce the purest iodine from our own research and the test in the world. Survival Shield X2 at InfoWarsStore.com and InfoWars Live. You've got to experience what having the good halogen in your body does. Most folks, about 3 weeks, go through a detoxification process. But what it does is for stamina, libido, focus, energy is really amazing. And if you don't have true iodine, pure iodine, you will end up having all sorts of disorders, just like water, just like oxygen. Iodine is an essential element. It's available exclusively. Survival Shield X2, InfoWarsLive.com, InfoWarsStore.com. And I hope, like a few years ago, that we can work this out. It's just right now we're kind of over a barrel, so I want listeners and viewers, everybody to know this stuff has a very, very long shelf life. I personally stockpiled it. Your purchase is from the operation fighting for free speech, the Second Amendment, national sovereignty. So it is a true 360 win. Again, the term I coined, or what they said before, a non-zero sum game. So get your Survival Shield X2 today, along with other great products, at InfoWarsLive.com, and fund the tip of the spear in the fight for free speech and human dignity worldwide. This could potentially be the end of Survival Shield X2 as we know it. If you love the original like I do and thousands of others, it's available now for a limited time at InfoWarsStore.com.
This is how, in the past, former Green Berets and SEALs, they've been approached by people that they knew a decade earlier in some war zone as a CIA officer. And they don't always say clearly whether they are working under official orders or if they're now private, because there's this gray area where the active intelligence officers will doubt, but they're still really in. It's called sheep dipping, for one word for it. They're actually still in, but they pretend to be private citizens.
Yep.
So these former Green Berets and SEALs, they never know when they're dealing with some guy that they met long ago as a CIA officer, if the guy is legitimately acting on orders, or if he's gone rogue and he's operating under his own auspices.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are resistance.
Welcome back. Talking Heads bringing us there. I'm Roger Stone, sitting in for Alex Jones, and you're at Freedom Command Central. It's the Alex Jones Show. In our last segment, Matt Bracken made a very good point. It was the Congress that created the NSA, created the Central Intelligence Agency, created all these alphabet soup intelligence and national security agencies. Now we see a new phenomenon with an extraordinarily disproportionate number of people from intelligence or military intelligence backgrounds now running for the Congress as Democrats. 1/4 of all Democratic challengers in competitive House districts have military or intelligence backgrounds. Intelligence backgrounds by far the largest subgroup of category of avocation. National security operatives 57, lawyers 45, government officials 35, corporate executives, businessmen, and wealthy individuals 30, and other professionals 19. Put it another way, in the 102 primary elections recently held, 44 involved candidates with military intelligence backgrounds. Military intelligence candidates count for 10 of the 22 most competitive districts in the country. To me, this smacks of a separation of power issue. What we see here is a clear trend of intelligence types seeking to invade the Congress in order to subvert that body and, in essence, subvert the oversight authority of the Congress over our rogue intelligence agencies. Interestingly enough, you see no comparable move among Republican challengers. It's extraordinary. Matt, your thoughts?
You know, the congressional oversight, I mean, what's left of it? It's like a toothless puppy trying to, pull down a pit bull because theoretically the toothless puppy is in charge of the pit bull. But, when the CIA, remember, was not supposed to operate outside of the United States because the fear was that they would begin to run intelligence operations here, and that would morph into exactly what we have seen, which is the tools of intelligence operations as opposed to intelligence gathering, intelligence operations being used at home, which is essentially what the frame-up of Donald Trump is. It's a rogue intelligence operation, starting with the end desire to get rid of Donald Trump before he can destroy the deep state, and then working backward from there to fabricate the Steele dossier, take it to a cabinet, the rubber stamp it, and they'd be off to the races. That's at the national level. But at every other level, if these intelligence agencies think they're going to have a friendly operator now in congressional camouflage, what kind of help are they going to give them? There's often a non-clear and an intentionally non-clear distinction between active duty serving intelligence officers, retired, former, contract, especially, etc. This is how, in the past, former Green Berets and SEALs, they've been approached by people that they knew a decade earlier in some war zone as a CIA officer. And they don't always say clearly whether they are working under official orders or if they're now private, because there's this gray area where the active intelligence officers will get out, but they're still really in. It's called sheep dipping, one word for it. They're actually still in, but they pretend to be private citizens.
Yep.
So these former Green Berets and SEALs, they never know when they're dealing with some guy long ago as a CIA officer, if the guy is legitimately acting on orders, or if he's gone rogue and he's operating under his own auspices. This is how, for example, when Michael Hastings' Mercedes blew up, full speed, I don't think that there's ever been a signature on that from the CIA. But it's sort of like of this meddlesome, troublesome priest. The intention is declared, and people that want to curry favor, the cutouts working with cutouts, eventually the action takes place. And this has now come back to the United States. It was in 1963, Truman wrote a letter to the Washington Post. It was actually literally pulled out of the Washington Post for decades afterwards to explain his fears that the CIA would become a Frankenstein monster, or already had become a Frankenstein monster. In December of '63, he wrote that. Curious timing, right after the assassination.
The letter ran for one edition, and then it was pulled. Truman said that signing the CIA into law was the biggest single mistake he ever made. I'm very interested in the question of the FISA. The New York Times reported on January 20th, 2017, that I was the subject of a FISA warrant, along with Paul Manafort and Carter Page. A number of things have happened since then that lead me to believe that the government has full access to my email and my communications. Therefore, today, I filed a Freedom of Information request with approximately 40 different agencies of the government seeking information as to whether I was a subject to a FISA warrant. This is a precursor to a lawsuit. You have to ask formally and then be denied, which is what I expect. And then we'll move to the second stage. I do know that the government continues to deny Paul Manafort was ever under surveillance, even though the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times have all reported otherwise. And there is a curious question of Carter Page. The appointment of a U.S. attorney in Utah to look into the FISA abuses is a thing, in my opinion. It's not that Huber, the man appointed, is not a good man. I think he may be. He's been given no budget and no authority, unlike Robert Mueller. Therefore, I expect his probe to be very narrow. Also, I'm mindful of what happened when the House Committee on Assassinations attempted to investigate the FBI, the Secret Service, and the CIA. They were stonewalled, as Mr. Huber will be stonewalled. This was to take the pressure off of Jeff Sessions for his failure to appoint a second special prosecutor to look into the FISA warrant abuses, the scale, which seems to be right back to the Hillary Clinton campaign. Thanks to Peter Strzok's text message, leads us right back to Barack Obama. What did the president know, and when did he know it?
Your bottom tower.
I think that partly they're trying to protect the if McCabe, he gets threatened. I think his terminology was something like "burn the whole damn house down" if he's indicted. If he's going to make the claim that he was acting under orders, that he was in cooperating with Comey and Obama and indirectly blackmailing presidents. If he starts pointing fingers that high, I think that he's going to need another level of life insurance. And I would advise him strictly to not go bicycling or canoeing or jogging in Fort Marcy Park, because I think that the man would be at serious risk of being Michael Hastings. Very serious risk.
The other question that interests me today is discrepancy. Yesterday, pundit, who I found has had a terrific record of accuracy, said that the Russian woman lawyer, whose name I can never pronounce properly, was allowed into the country at the time of her famous meeting with Donald Trump Jr. on a special visa that was approved by U.S. Attorney Priya. We will come back and view this question on the other side.
Receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Canadian instructions qualified.
I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I left myself my home phone at the bottom. I sent 2 letters back in autumn. You must not have got them. There probably was a problem at the post office or something. From the dress was too sloppy when I got them. Anyways, man, how's your daughter? I know you probably hear this every day.
The enemy's top tower.
Anyways, I hope you get this, man. Hit me back. Just in chat. Truly going.
I can't stand it. I feel like he's not paying attention to me. And I was kind of waiting for him to say something.
With his Twitter.
Yeah, and for some reason.
One of the things I'm really proud of is the fact that doing my own research, talking to top scientists, we knew that there was an iodine conspiracy.
Iodine is in every cell of your body.
Iodine deficiency is the commonest preventable cause of brain damage and loss of IQ in the world.
In fact, over 90% of Americans are low in iodine.
Iodine used to be used for bread as a dough enhancer. Then in the early 1970s, most commercial manufacturers switched to bromide instead. Since 1970, the iodine equivalent in urine is 50% less now than it was then.
Research from the World Organization study showed that 10 to 50% of people worldwide are deficient in iodine.
Most people, I think everybody, for the most part, should be supplementing with iodine.
And I am so proud of the fact that since I've been promoting iodine in the last 5-6 years, it is now all the rage, health food stores, you name it. But none of them are as pure or as clean as the original Survival Shield X2 at InfoWarsLive.com. I was just about to walk out of the studio to pick my children up. I got some bad news. For the second time in the 5.5 years of Survival Shield X2, our flagship product, we are having supply chain problems. And this may be the last batch of this. You see, we have to go through the DEA to get this because it is pure atomic iodine. Everything else out there is bound or it's contaminated. It's not storable. We have deep earth crystal sources so pure that it actually turns into carbonic gas. It's injected into palm oil, organic palm oil, and proprietary patent process. And so in our own search to get the purest form, we discovered that oil companies and gas companies had a byproduct they were selling to pharmaceutical companies, also drug makers that used to make drugs. So the FDA is involved, and that's why the DEA is involved. So it's a major industrial product being used, and that we could actually bring it to the public pure. But you've got to get contracts with oil companies and gas companies to do it. And once they figure out there's a market, they start jacking up the price. So we have a run of this, a limited run. We have a good supply right now. We're talking maybe 2 months of it. But this may be the clincher. We may not have X2 in this configuration in the future. But we're offering it still 25% off until it sells out. Hopefully, just like the last time this happened a few years ago, it's not an issue. We do get more. Right now, we are not able to secure the crystals to produce the purest iodine from our own research and the test in the world. Survival Shield X2. InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com. You've got to experience having the good halogen your body does. Most folks in about 3 weeks go through a detoxification process. What it does is for stamina, libido, focus, energy is really amazing. And if you don't have true iodine, pure iodine, you will end up having all sorts of disorders. Just like water, just like oxygen. Without iodine, it is an essential element. It's available exclusively. Survival Shield X2. InfoWarsLife.com. InfoWarsStore.com. And I hope like 2 years ago that we can work this out. Just right now, we're kind of over a barrel. I want listeners and viewers, everybody to know this stuff has a very, very long shelf life. I personally have stockpiled it. Your purchases fund the operation fighting for free speech, the Second Amendment, national. So it is a true 360 win. You get the termite coin set for a non-zero sum game. So get your Survival Shield X2 today, along with other great products, at InfoWarsLive.com, and fund the tip of the spear in the fight for free speech and human dignity worldwide. This could potentially be the end of Survival Shield X2 as we know it. If you love the original like I do and thousands of others have, it's available now for a limited time at InfoWarsStore.com.
The meeting in Donald Trump Jr.'s office, which is allegedly to get negative information regarding Hillary. She has none, produces none, ends up being a discussion of adoption law. It's a setup, very clearly a setup. And there is no crime, there's no wrongdoing there. Don Jr. didn't do anything wrong. We don't know anything about this woman lawyer, other than the fact that she's connected to Fusion GPS. So we were talking about how this woman, Russian lawyer, Veselnitskaya, got into the country, Matt. What's interesting is that the True Pundit reported that she had a special visa that was approved by a U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, Preet Bharara. But then Reuters came out with a story almost immediately contradicting that, saying that Bharara had denied her a visa, but then going on to say that the State Department gave her a special visa anyway in June of 2016. What it doesn't tell us is who approved that visa. She was denied a visa because she was not a witness or central to a legal case in which she had a client going on in New York. She had been denied. She had been approved for a temporary visa on 3 separate previous occasions by the U.S. attorney. The question seems to me to remain: who let this woman in the country? She clearly came here for the purposes of setting up Donald Trump Jr., who's a great man and a good patriot. But this question is vexing. Do you have an opinion?
Yeah, I'd like to discuss a little bit about that Donald Jr. meeting. To me, this all smacks of an active intelligence operation against the president. And what they'll do is operate on multiple tracks, because you don't know which of the plans is going to, be a fizzle or a hang fire, and which is going to be the one that takes off and succeeds. And you might try 5 or 6 different parallel operations. One of them was the Donald Jr. meeting. It didn't matter if they talked about bad news. The fact that they were in the same room would be then spun into the false narrative of Russian collusion. Another one was Carter Page. He's a good, decent man who was in Moscow many times in business. That's enough. The fact that he was in Moscow, that can be spun into a false narrative. And the other one is Papadopoulos. This is the most flagrant to me. He happened, of all the people in London, this is what, a city of many millions? He just happened to sit down at a bar, talk about winning back-to-back Powerballs. He happens to sit down with the high commissioner to Britain from Australia, and allegedly talked about Russian espionage, just purely by coincidence. And then it turns out that this guy, Alexander Downer, is a major bundler for the Hillary Clinton Foundation. We don't know what his angle was in doing so, getting Australians to donate to the Hillary Clinton Foundation, the Clinton Foundation, Family Foundation, whatever it's called. So this, to me, smacks of an intelligence operation where he's vectored to Papadopoulos. Doesn't matter if they spoke to each other for 2 minutes about football scores, or American liberalism, which can then be spun as a meeting where this wonderful guy, Alexander Downer, just happened to hear Papadopoulos talking about Russian collusion. This, to me, is like, if somebody said, hey, he's won 10 lotteries in a row, I would have to be an idiot to actually believe that. Now, if I saw the checks, I'd say, then get the fixes in. This was all a setup. The The Donald Jr. meeting, the London meeting with the Australian High Commissioner, who just happens to be all tied to the Clinton Foundation, and then going after Carter Page. Remember, it wasn't just the bug and Carter Page. He was the conduit into the entire Trump campaign. Once they had the FISA warrant on Carter Page, all of his contacts were fair game. And that means going back in time because it's all archived. Everything is saved. So yeah, this to me was an intelligence operation from go. They assumed that Hillary would win and would all be covered up. You know, that this would be used to sabotage the election. But then he actually won, and now they're desperate to cover their tracks because people can definitely go to jail for this or be killed. McCabe, you better have a powerful force field around you, my friend, because there are people that will take you out. I mean, I'm talking about people that do their jobs, do work for a living. They will have you taken out.
Well, of course, that is wrong, but you don't seem to believe in coincidence. Look, HangOutPost and were so low in the future. Neither one of them was a paid staffer. Neither one had a credential to get into the headquarters. Neither one of them had any status. They were both volunteers. What was a foreign policy committee with over 100 members essentially put together as a foreign policy advisor for Donald Trump is a bit of a stretch. In the case of Papadopoulos, it's even more of a stretch. So I tend to agree with you that those two operations are highly suspicious. Meeting in Donald Trump Jr.'s office, which is allegedly to get negative information regarding Hillary, which she has none, produces none, ends up being a discussion of adoption law. It's a setup, very clearly a setup. And there is no crime there. There's no wrongdoing there. Don Jr. didn't do anything wrong. We don't know anything about this woman lawyer other than the fact that she's connected to Fusion GPS. How incredibly coincidental that she's working with them.
So now they're talking about Brandon the secret trip to Moscow in 2016. You know, the guy that voted for the communists in 1980 as an adult.
Well, also the guy, also the guy looking into torture by the CIA and then lied about it under oath. An Islamic convert, John Brennan. I think you will find a long piece of InfoWars you can pull up. I think he's the chief perp. He's the guy who starts suggesting Russian collusion long before it's a popular term. In fact, he's predicted it seemingly before it's ever allegedly happened. So I want to thank Matt Bracken for joining us here on the Alex Jones Show. I want to thank all of you for tuning in, and I want to ask you one more time to remember that we face the greatest challenge we have ever faced in this country. There is an effort to strangle us. There is an effort our First Amendment rights to wipe us off the internet and literally shut us down. Alex Jones is working double time to prevent that, but we need your help. So please go to the Infowars.com store now. Check these extraordinary specials, particularly like the Super Blue Oral line of products now on special. The toothpaste, the mouthwash, the garment. Aficionado of these is the best way to gauge she is found. But find a product that works for you, or look at our books or t-shirts. We need your help. God bless you, and God bless America.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
It's the claim that the August protest was some sort of left-wing plot. Who, you might ask, would say something so offensive? An elected representative who's serving right now in the U.S. Congress.
And look at the background. George Soros is one of those people that actually helps, back these individuals. Who is he?
My understanding is that you went out with this protector of yours who swore that you were his adopted godson. Yes. Went out, in fact, and helped in the confiscation of property from the Jew. That's right. Was it difficult? Not at all.
Do you think George Soros funded the neo-Nazis who marched in Charlottesville?
Wouldn't be interesting to find out.
These conspiracy theories were first spread by radio talk show host Alex Jones.
Is this lost on anyone? George Soros is a famous Nazi collaborator.
From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
If you like the expanded coverage at InfoWars, if you're enjoying the real news with David Knight in the mornings, the Alex Jones show midday, and of course the War Room with my colleague Owen Schroyer, please remember that we are completely listener and viewer supported here at InfoWars, and we face the greatest challenge we have ever faced. If you're a regular listener, you know about the spate of lawsuits that have been filed against InfoWars, every one of them baseless, every one of them meritless, every one of them bogus, but designed to generate negative headlines and enormous legal bills. Then they take those headlines and they use them as the rationale to remove us from the internet, remove us from YouTube, from Facebook, from Google, and so on. The costs are astronomical and they're only rising. Why? Because Alex Jones is a fighter and he will fight every one of these lawsuits with truth, because the truth in the end will win. But that doesn't mean that it isn't expensive. So we need you to go to the InfoWars store now and look at some of our terrific products. Not only do we have our cutting-edge nutraceuticals where Alex Jones and his team of scientists take the very best of ancient Chinese medicine in practice for centuries, combining it with cutting-edge new nutraceuticals to bring you formulas that are really effective. And you can compare our prices with the competitor, say Whole Foods, and you'll find that our prices are lower, but our products are superior. You'll find no fillers, you'll find no secondary ingredients. Everything that they put forward has been rigorously tested. And if you don't believe it, go to the testimonials where you have literally thousands, in some cases, of satisfied customers. Whether it is Plus, whether it is the Red Pill. These are some of my favorites. I also like the whey protein. Finding good whey protein that doesn't taste like gasoline is a challenge. The one we sell at InfoWars is one of the best. But please, when you go to the site, you're not only helping yourself. As Alex Jones liked to say, it's a 360-degree win. You win and we win because Alex Jones pumps the money back into InfoWars to pay for our expanded coverage here. So please, folks, do us a favor, do yourself a favor, stand up for the First Amendment, kick George Soros right in the derriere, go to town and order some of these terrific products. I have not had an opportunity to examine the material that was released today, but so far it is consistent with everything the president told me he would do. He favors transparency. Why, you ask, would the intelligence agencies be opposed to the release of this material?
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm pinch hitting. I'm Roger Stone, your host for the next hour, and joining me in hosting our next hour is Matt Bracken. We are delighted to be with you so much in the news. There he is, Matt Bracken. Welcome back.
Welcome back, yes. Good to see you.
Some substantial news today regarding the John F. Kennedy assassination. The president, in accordance with the 1994 JFK Document Release Act, ordered the release of the remaining 19,045 documents pertaining to the murder of the president. No document was completely withheld in full upon the president's orders, and redactions based on the president's instructions are only to those who are currently living. Interestingly enough, the intelligence agencies had requested a further delay. The president ordered them to be extremely circumspect in recommending any further postponement. And he said the material that has been withheld today is to be re-reviewed by October 26, 2021, not that far away, to determine whether there's any continuing reason why this government information should be withheld. Now, in the past, we have learned an extraordinary amount about the JFK assassination from these released documents. For example, we learned that the KGB had conducted their own independent investigation into the John F. Kennedy assassination, and it had determined that Lyndon Johnson was the perp. We actually saw in the government-released records a memo from J. Edgar Hoover, the head of the FBI, to President Johnson informing him of that. We also learned that the French intelligence conducted their own independent review at the request of Jacqueline Kennedy. They also concurred that Lyndon Johnson was a major orchestrator of the plot. We learned that President Lyndon Johnson belonged to the Ku Klux Klan early in his congressional career. We learned about George H.W. Bush's presence in Dallas on the 21st of November 1963. For 30 years, former President George Bush said he couldn't remember where he was that day. At Brackenwood, everyone remembers where they were that day. Anybody who was old enough to think. But we also saw in the released documents memos between George H.W. Bush, who called the Houston FBI minutes after the president was shot, essentially to establish an alibi, saying that he was speaking in Tyler, Texas, and then leading the FBI on a wild goose chase regarding a young Republican in Harris County that he said may or may not have made threats against the president. I think Russ Baker, in his terrific book on the Bushes, highlighted this revelation. So I have not had an opportunity to examine the material that was released today, but so far it is consistent with everything the president told me he would do. He favors transparency. Why, you may ask, would the intelligence agencies be opposed to the release of this material, particularly since those involved in these events 55 years ago are almost certainly dead and no longer with us? Well, the real reason, I think, is because they don't want to expose their methods. They leaked then, they leak now. They fabricate things then, they fabricate things now. They assassinate then, they still assassinate today. So it speaks to the foundation of intelligence agencies. This is a monumental decision by the president today. Some will criticize the redactions, but I would point out that the 1994 John F. Kennedy Records Release Act requires that the archives and the intelligence agencies publish in writing the reasons for any withholdings or redactions in the Federal Register. They have not yet done that. I have urged Senator Chuck Grassley, the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and Congressman Jones of North Carolina, who has been a real crusader for transparency on this issue, to the failure of the intelligence agencies to explain their redactions today. Matt, do you have any reaction here to the JFK revelations?
Well, I'm glad that Trump is leaning towards disclosure. I'll note that researchers that have been trying to follow up on a lot of untied threads of the communist networks operating in the 50s and 60s find that the archives are missing information, that physical documents have been taken out and misplaced or destroyed. So when they try to go back and look at these documents, they can't find them. I don't know if all of these documents have been kept in secure places, or if people like Sammy Berger, who was trying to clean up behind Bill Clinton, going into I guess the Library of Congress or to remove damaging information. It'll be interesting to see what damaging information is still left, or if it's been sanitized.
Yeah, you bring up a famous incident which Berger went into the National Archives. They assigned a docent It's time with you. He tells the docent, I have to take a classified telephone call. Can you step out? Oh, he steps out. Berger takes documents, shoves them down the front of his pants, and leaves. How much time did he spend in jail for this crime? 0. But he was trying to cover up the fact that Bill Clinton could have taken out bin Laden and had the opportunity and passed on it. But you remind me of that. Now, it's also interesting that the National Archives last November released 667 documents ahead of the August deadline, pardon me, the July deadline, and almost all of those documents were heavily redacted. I almost wonder whether that was a test to see what public reaction would be. The 96 documents released on that day are completely and totally worthless to scholars or researchers or reporters trying to figure out what happened on November 22nd, 1963. It was not until after that that the president became aware of his responsibilities under the 1994 Act and ordered the release of these documents to the consternation of our intelligence services. Good move today by President Donald Trump. I'm Roger Stone. You're on the Alex Jones Show with my friend Bracken, and we'll be right back.
Receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Sacred child. Your top tower is under attack. Days begin. Your top tower is under attack.
There is a war. It's happening now. It will decide the fate of humanity. The time to choose sides has come. We are the resistance. We are the info war. One of the things I'm really proud of is the fact that doing my own research, talking to top scientists, he knew that there was an iodine conspiracy.
Iodine is in every cell of your body.
Iodine deficiency is the commonest preventable cause of brain damage and loss of IQ in the world.
In fact, over 90% of Americans are low in iodine.
Iodine used to be used in bread as a dough enhancer. Then in the early 1970s, most commercial manufacturers switched to bromide instead. Since 1970, the iodine they collected in urine is 50% less now than it was then.
Research from the World Health Organization studies show that 10 to 50% of people worldwide are deficient in iodine.
Most people, I think everybody, for the most part, should be supplemented with iodine.
And I am so proud of the fact that since I've been promoting iodine the last 5-6 years, it is now all the rage at health food stores, you name it. But none of them are as pure or as clean as the original Survival Shield X2 at InfoWarsLive.com. I was just about to walk out to go to pick my children up, and I got some bad news. For the second time in the 5.5-year history of Survival Shield X2, our flagship product, we are having supply chain problems, and this may be the last batch of this. You see, we have to go through the DEA to get this because it is pure atomic iodine. Everything else out there is bound or it's contaminated, it's not absorbable, it's toxic. We have deep earth crystal source that's so pure that it actually turns into purple gas in the atmosphere. It's injected into palm oil, organic palm oil, in a proprietary process. And so in our own search to get the purest form, we discovered that oil companies and gastronomy companies had a byproduct that they were selling to pharmaceutical companies and also drug makers that they used to make drugs. So the FDA is involved, and that's why the DEA is involved. So it's a major industrial product being used, and then we can actually bring it to the public pure. But you've got to get contracts with oil companies and gas companies to do it. Once they figure out there's a market, they start jacking up the price. So we have a run of this, a limited run. We have a good supply right now. We're talking maybe 2 months of it. But this may be the clincher. We may not have X2 in this configuration in the future. But we're offering it still 25% off until it sells out. Hopefully, just like the last time this happened a few years ago, it's not an issue. We do get more. But right now, you're not able to secure the crystals that produce the purest iodine from our own research and the test in the world. Survival Shield X2 at InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com. You've got to experience what having the good halogen in your body does. Most folks about 3 weeks go through a detoxification. But what it does is for stamina, libido, focus, energy is really amazing. And if you don't have true iodine, pure iodine, you will end up having all sorts of disorders. Just like water, just like oxygen. Without iodine, it is an essential element. It's available exclusively. Survival Shield X2, InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com. And I hope, like a few years ago, that we can work this out. It's just right now we're kind of over a barrel. So I want listeners and viewers, everybody to know this stuff has a very, very long shelf life. I personally have stockpiled them. Your purchases fund the operation, fighting for free speech, the Second Amendment, national sovereignty. So it is a true 360 win. Turn my coin, or what they said before, a non-zero sum game. So get your Survival Shield X2 today with other great products, InfoWarsLife.com, and fund the tip of the spear in the fight for free speech and human dignity worldwide. This could potentially be the end of Survival Shield X2 as we know it. If you love the original like I do and thousands of others have, it's available now for limited time at InfoWarsStore.com.
These are all collective. Rosenstein, Mueller, and Weissman are all put to prison for uranium-1. This, to me, gives them a strong motive to try to take out Trump. If there's an honest investigation into the last 10 years of the uranium-1 scandal, we're talking $145 million going to the Clinton Foundation. That's not chicken feed.
You are the resistance.
Welcome back. I'm Roger Stone. You're on the Alex Jones Show. We were involved in a discussion with Matt Bracken regarding the release of the JFK assassination documents this morning by President Donald Trump. But we kind of segued into a broader conversation addressing an interview that the president gave to Fox and Friends this morning, in which he intimated in response to a question regarding Russian collusion that he is close to taking control of his own Justice Department. Matt and I agree that it's long past time that he do that. And then last week, you had the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, saying publicly that the president fired Rod Rosenstein, the two men in the department, but really the de facto Attorney General today, well, that he, Sessions, would step down. He seemed to back off that slightly, but make my day. I mean, Matt, please make my day. The amount of power the president has, I'm not sure he really understands. The Justice Department is an extension of the executive branch. He has but what we have instead is the current Justice Department ignoring the crimes of the Clintons and the Obamas that include unconstitutional, illegal surveillance, the creation of fabricated evidence for the purposes of rationalizing that surveillance, the disappearance of records, the misappropriation of monies, all of those crimes, the crimes of the Clinton Foundation go unexplored. The sale of 20% of our uranium stock unscathed. Meanwhile, we have a witch hunt looking into the Trump campaign and Trump's many associates without yet today a single evidence or coordination. Now, what's your take?
Yeah, I think that the key, the most resentment of this is to understand how did Rosenstein become the acting attorney general? Who put him forward for that? If we understood the machinations behind his being installed as deputy, I think we'll understand the larger outlines of this plot. Because clearly he was put in there to trigger Trump to fire Comey, and then that would trigger a special counsel. Well, he would be Comey's friend Robert Mueller. These are all corruptocrats. Rosenstein, Mueller, and Weissman are all could go to prison for uranium-1. this to me gives them a strong motive to try to take out Trump. If there's an honest investigation into the last 10 years of the uranium one scandal, talking $145 million going to the Clinton Foundation, that's not chicken feed. If you withheld $1,400 from the IRS, they want their money. $145 million, and there's no investigation. And Mueller, Rosenstein, and Weissman, who are all involved in that, hold the key to Trump's future. It's just crazy. This morning, the president said that he might be soon taking over the reins of the DOJ. I believe that President Trump and Devin Nunes walking into the Department of Justice with saying, take the records out. We've got dollies. We've got some, the workers behind us. We're removing them now. Are you rejecting an order from your president to run this building and do the same thing at the FBI? And anybody who stands in front of those records and says you can't have them, handcuff them. Take the records out. One of the biggest aspects of this scandal that has gotten almost no attention is that Strzok is a social friend of the FISA court judge Rudy Contreras. I mean, I love the FISA judges must be really mad that they were used. How do we know they were used? They might have been planning and planning this all along. There's that redacted email or text that says we're going to have a meeting with Judge Rudy, but we need to make a cocktail party and invite more people for cover for action. Cover for action is a term of tradecraft. That means how do we give ourselves a plausible reason for meeting somebody, otherwise it would be just a clandestine meeting between spies. We need to do it with a cover for action. This to me is a flagrant admission of guilty intent to meet the FISA judge out of church, out of business hours to set this whole thing up. If the FISA court is as corrupt as the FBI is, where are we today? We've got a communist running the CIA by his own admission, voted for communist in the Cold War, John Brennan. I mean, we've got Clapper lying repeatedly to Congress. They forget who runs who. Congress created the NSA. Congress created the CIA. Now they're off the leash. They've gone rogue, and they're trying to take out the president that's trying to put the collar back on. I mean, we are in the middle of a bureaucratic civil war right now. Nobody's being shot as of now, but day by day I expect canoe accidents, Fort Marcy Park bodies to be found, Admiral Borda suicides, because we're getting down to that period of this where there are people who are saying, if this guy testifies, I'm going to prison. It's time for an accident. Somebody's Mercedes Bluetooth enabled into a tree at 100 miles an hour, like Michael Hastings, after he had his sights set on John Brennan following his takedown of General Stanley McChrystal. I mean, these guys will stop at nothing at this point. And, we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg above the water. But believe me, the sharks are circling down below. And, there's blood in the water right now. With these front page texts about to come out, literally anything could happen, including a false flag attack diversion. Some lunatic could be let off the FBI could drop the ball again in order to create a momentous distraction, just as some of these more revelations about the corruption in the FBI and DOJ come out. Not to mention people like Brennan and Clapper. They're capable of doing literally anything.
Matt, I think that's a very, very good analysis of the situation. I want to remind our listeners and our viewers here at InfoWars are completely and totally funded by you. We have no rich, conservative fat cats sitting in the wings writing us big checks. That's why I need you to go to the Infowars.com site now and look at some of these extraordinary specials. We are the cutting edge.
Like, I am a god. Everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was. A god.
Let the bass kick.
This is Savannah Hernandez with InfoWars. Today we're on UT's campus to talk to students about what they think about the recent controversy surrounding Kanye West's tweets and his support of Candace Owens. Let's see what people think.
The answers, man. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Kanye just tweeted a picture of himself wearing a Make America Great Again hat. What do you think about that?
Didn't he come out as pro-Trump? I mean, so he's...
What do you think about that?
I didn't really have an opinion in any way to begin. I listened to Kanye before Trump ran for election, so...
So his political views don't sway your opinion of him at all?
Not necessarily Kanye.
I just have to say, just start. You're gonna treat it.
You are one of the best crowds we have ever had. We'll never forget the scream, we'll never forget Australia. It's beautiful.
Oh, that's a kill there. Yeah. Oh, no, wait, this one more. Where'd she go? Nope. Funny. They did a couple shooters again.
Huh?
You gonna eat him?
It's not time.
What are you waiting for? Now? What are you, a Legion commander? What the fuck? We're gonna wait till he gets so that my duel victory will go off.
This is gonna be fun.
Oh no, you swapped him off it. Ah, you swapped him off it. You little bastard. What you've done.
Not yet. Proper safety is really important.
Come on.
You know it
Come on,
comes
land a
next,
hoof.
right?
Hey, he landed one. He fucking landed one.
Under attack.
Better get there without those.
I tell you, if Pudge starts hitting hooks from here on out, this game becomes incredibly easy. If he doesn't, this game stays the same and we lose. Come on, Pudge. Come on, Pudge. Come on. Look at all the opportunities. Just hook a bitch. If Pudge is our hope to win, then we fucking lose. Without being negative, we've lost if Pudge is our only hope.
Oh, yeah.
Stun him. There we go. want to chase him and ulti on him? Had that.
This works. Yes.
Fudge, no pressure, but if you hit a hook, I'll deposit $5 into your PayPal. Real talk. You got what? $5. Just you? Nick.
There's nothing.
Oh. I don't think there's nothing else. I'm going to die, man! Man! Come on, Tranquil. Ah, fuck you! Where's your stun now, ass face? You fucking god.
Well, that was interesting. This changes nothing.
Hook them! Aye, hook them! Oh my god! They're gone!
Let's go. Dire structures are fortified.
He ain't the fucking cheese! Ah, he got pushed out! Ah. Get out of the hook! Oh, what? See? Yeah, sit on that bitch.
Let's go.
Ah! Who's gonna jam? No! What's that all about? What the?
Don't blame us.
Okay. But you gotta go there somewhere and try to hook across to those mines because they're gonna see them in a second. Make one hook, miss it, get it, just run either way. Nice. Run, my friend. Why the fuck did you keep chasing me? Nice hook. Ah, yeah, get him. Fucking kill that prick now. Oh, man. Fuck you. Get back.
Your middle barracks. Now, Owen. I have a dread feeling about this.
Iron structures are fortified.
This is bad. Ah. That's where you should be looking from. No one's attacking the puck. Ooh, yes, suck it, bitch. Yes, fuck the drawer. Yes, yes. Yes, that's how you do it. That's better. That's more like it. Uh-huh. Yep. Keep going, guys. You look like you know how to play Dota now. Well done. Oh my god, you guys look like you know how to play Dota. Now push down middle. Can anyone check if they have a gem? No, not us, them. Like, do they have a gem?
Let's go.
Yes. Only one. That sucks. That's good. I'm liking it. Yes. Well done, boy. Okay. Well done.
The enemy's barracks have fallen.
I think you can GG push. I don't think you need to get the barracks. I mean, if my math serves me correctly,
Their bottom barracks have fallen. The enemy's
I mean, if everyone was attacking right now, we'd already be on it. This is why you need an Asian doing your math, not Australian. Just saying.
Tower has fallen. Oh, this is
Just letting you know. Fucking Nick is just being a little shitbag over there. Go forward, punch! Yeah! I killed himself. Sucker! Motherfucker! Whoa. Oh my god, this game, man. You alright there, buddy? You alright? You alright there, buddy? You okay? You okay? You said middle the entire time you were people. You alright, dude? You okay? You okay?
Get the fucking okay?
You alright?
What's up, everybody? How's it going? Today we're playing Toho Tower Defense. This game mode, you'll see. That's something you can do, you know, if you get a card twice, then you can get... Oh god, we are not clearing this. I still haven't gotten a single, like, really good unit here. I think I need to start upgrading my stuff aggressively. I'm just gonna start upgrading everything. I don't think we have time to really wait. This is also, by the way, pretty normal for Green TD. It's just a really good tower defense. Like, here's the thing. I'm not into this kind of shit at all, right? Like, I'm not saying that from, like, a defensive position, because, like, I know that these days you get shamed if you're, like, into anime, right? I guess you've always been getting shamed for that. Rightfully so, of course. Alright. But, like, this is just not my stuff. Like, I'm just not into it, right? But this mode is really, really fun for me to play, just because it's actually such a good tower defense. Really just is actually just an absolutely incredible tower defense. If this didn't have all of that reap shit in it, like, this would be one of the best tower defenses I've ever played. Like, in terms of this, like, classic Warcraft freestyle, at least, right? I mean, of course, now we can start arguing, well, but Plants vs. Zombies, and then I'm just like, yes, I know Plants vs. Zombies, but, you know. Yeah. Anyway, so the highest level we are going to go, at least early on, is really 4 stars. Higher than that becomes problematic.
All right, next story. Black Panther is coming out any second now. And
I first spoke to Missy in September of 2007. I was sitting in my car, getting up the nerve to call her. I just received a diagnosis that my daughter had Smith-Magenis syndrome. I was given Missy's number, and I was desperate to talk to anyone who knew anything. But over months, our relationship blossomed, and we have done some incredible things together.
Our girls are both 8 years old, so our journey is so similar. We just share everything, all of our fears, everything we were concerned about, everything we were.
And I gotta say, possibly the greatest film
I agree.
ever.
I was surprised. Actually. It was incredible. It's incredible movie.
It's more than just a movie. It's a statement, and it's a statement about what Africa would be if we ruined it.
Right.
What Africa can be in the next, say, 20,000 years. I think it's. I don't think white people should be allowed to see it. First of all,
I think that woke white people, you know, if you're enlightened, you should be able to see it. Because I mean, that scene. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but at the end, with the woman,
the guy flip,
right, and then she looks into the
throws her.
Saying it's the new cool, edgy, rebellious thing to watch your videos, to watch videos by Jordan Peterson. I mean, Jordan Peterson, he's a rock star. He packs out venues. You can't get in them. It's like £200 just to get in his venue at this point. He's a new rock star. What does he represent? The antithesis of identity politics. So in this Comedy Central piece, they claim that being punk, being counterculture, has to implicitly embrace identity politics. the new rock stars that all the kids, all the 20-somethings are going to see, people like Jordan Peterson, they're going to see someone who represents the very opposite of that. That's why they're panicking, because it is seen as avant-garde to rebel against the culture.
And what does Jordan Peterson say? He says the radical thing that there are two sexes.
Yeah.
That's the level of crazy town, that it's avant-garde to say that the 2+4.
Well, this is the point I had in my video. You go back to the 70s, who was it that was trying to no platform offensive speech, offensive comedy, offensive music, offensive movies? It was the religious right, generally. The tables have turned. Everything's flipped. Now they're literally, the USA Today are coming out with articles saying, oh, these offensive song lyrics shouldn't be allowed now. Oh, maybe we should ban cheerleaders.
And the left is mad at Trump supporters for not getting rid of him because he might have had girlfriends or something, which no, we're not endorsing, but we didn't elect him for that. And so they're going, oh, you Christians are hypocrites. No, the Christians are the opposite of being hypocrites. Because if Trump had said he didn't do it, then they'd be mad. He didn't say that. They didn't hire him for that. That's what I'm saying. The left is pissed at the evangelicals for not being mad at Trump.
I don't think anybody voted for Trump thinking that he would be a pure straight-line Christian conservative. I mean, that would be the ultimate form of naivety. But they're the ones trying to ban everything. You know, grid girls, page 3 girls. They're basically now saying we shouldn't. I mean, in London, we're not allowed to show beach body ads. They're aligning.
Because your Islamic leaders said no. And I have articles today where they've got major political parties in Europe saying ban, segregate women and men on buses. It's here. And the Green Party is telling women, don't wear skirts.
By the way, the far left leader of the Labour Party,
party says wear skirts. Wear skirts. Sorry, Paul, go ahead.
Belgium, they had the leader of the Islam Party, which has got elected councillors in Belgium, get up on a television debate show. He not only refused to shake hands with the women on that panel, on that debate show, he refused to look them in the eye or even look in their direction when they addressed him. This is the kind of attitude that is now aligning itself with. They're also calling for gender-segregated public transport. Who's calling for that in the UK? Jeremy Corbyn.
Let's think about that. The Muslims won't even talk to women in a debate, and the left just loves it.
Yeah.
Because they want women to be their slaves. I'm telling you, I can't believe it. It gets crazier and crazier. Paul, let's go to some phone calls. We're going to go on for hours. We're only do a little bit in the next hour. Keep Paul on, then Phil Gilbert will take over. But let's go to Danny. No. Tom in London first. Tom, you're on the air with Paul Watson, His Britannic Majesty's Secret Service Defender of the Realm, 8th Army's Great Overlord, Field Marshal of the cohorts, of the visitors, of the cottages, of the appendages of the shrubberies. Paul, did I give you PTSD?
I'm triggered.
Tom from Her Britannic Majesty's London, England. We herald you entering into the United States of America. You are on the air with Paul Joseph Watson. Welcome, my good friend.
I feel very bullied by you putting on that. By the way, I'm the person who phoned you in 2015 predicting Trump and Brexit.
I remember you didn't call a prediction. You made some other predictions that haven't come true, though. Go ahead. I dare you to challenge me. I have royal right to the crown. By way of genetic force and the first alignment of the Cambridge decision, I am rightful heir to the Britannic throne.
I actually haven't yet made predictions that haven't come true. My predictions that I made last time I phoned you haven't come true yet because, I predicted that North Korea was a smoke screen and the real thing going on was Iran. And I also predicted that Trump would be removed by autumn, fall in American.
And that was last year, and you have been proven disgracefully incorrect.
Well, that remains to be seen. I mean, Trump, I still think that's going to happen to Trump before your elections in November. But he can do himself. And I just want to mention that.
By kneeling to the Barney stand and kneeling to the great festooning, if he kisses the rear end of the great leprechaun, he'll be freed. Is that the secret?
No. It's what he does. What he does in North Korea. What's on offer with North Korea is Kim Jong-un will announce the peace treaty, the denuclearization, and reunification talks, and he'll give Trump the credit. Right, but to get that, Trump has to do certain things and also not screw it up. Otherwise, he'll get much less than that, which won't save him. So how he gets the full jackpot is he has to go to Pyongyang. Now, this is about the Chinese culture and the North Korean culture. It's about faith, the saving faith.
And not just their face. If he goes there, they'll feel like it's so embarrassing to everybody if they don't make a deal.
Well, no. See, right now, Kim Jong-un would lose enormous faith. This is a cultural thing. Faith is all important.
We're taking calls from Paul Watson. The fact that every word he says is directly programmed by me.
Yeah, he knows about this sort of thing. Well, he had a Chinese pastor, so maybe he knows about the faith concept.
My husband was Chinese. I had a Chinese husband. He had a Chinese wife. I gotta go, Tom. Let's get serious here. Paul, you want to comment on what Tom was saying?
Well, I mean, North Korea, we put out, remember Trump's big nuclear button tweet at the beginning of January? They literally had MSNBC commentators on air saying that this would lead to the annihilation of the planet. Those tweets haven't aged very well, have they? There was another one which I tweeted today basically saying the same thing, that it would lead to World War III. Ben Rhodes said every taunt back and forth between Trump and Kim Jong-un makes de-escalation and diplomacy possible. They were all proven spectacularly wrong. Pompeo's met with him. We've got genuine hope for peace between those two nations. This is monumental. Imagine if Obama had achieved that. They'd
be throwing rose petals on the ground. Maybe they'd just be, the Queen's is royalty. It'd be like Obama was royalty.
Yeah, they would be absolutely lavishing him. I mean, what is Trump's approval rating?
Did you just say lavish the royalty?
Lavish the royalty. But yeah, it's massive, it's positive, it's a genuine step towards peace. We don't know if it's going to be followed through yet, but they're not going to give him any credit for it. The voters know that. His approval ratings are what, 50%?
Here's the question: Will Trump get a Nobel Peace Prize if they denuclearize the peninsula? Probably not. They'll give it to Obama.
I mean, if Trump could solve the Israeli-Palestinian crisis, they could have a peace deal with North and South Korea. Venezuela could be prosperous again. They would still not give him anything because they're incredibly biased.
Let me say this: then I nominate Obama for a peace prize if we denuclearize the peninsula. And Hillary, she came, she saw they died. I nominate Hillary Rodham Clinton to be Empress of the world after 5,000. Don't leave, Watson. You're staying at the next hour. Look at him trying to leave. Look at him. Running from me, running against the show to that camera. Look at him. He won't escape before that. Over a year in the making, produced by one of the top organic firms in the country, that if you want proven studies and documentation, let me speak for hours on the files I have here, of what this is proven to do, the ingredients in this. This is the ultimate immune system boost for this time of year, any time of the year. But Immune Wall is incredible, and folks, other formulas that aren't even as good are $70, $80. It's a great deal at $39. Immune Wall, beta glucan, olive leaf, and so much more. It is concentrated. You need to go read what is in here. The mushroom blend of the most expensive, high quality mushrooms that just incredibly celebrate. A citrus peel blend. I mean, this is the next level. It's now available, ladies and gentlemen. Immune Wall. I think it's beyond seasons. Beta, glucan, olive leaf, and more. Immune Wall, InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com, or 888-253-3139.
Electrify your day with Secret 12. It's like lightning in a bottle. We all have days in which we just can't seem to perform at the level we'd like to. InfoWars Life Secret 12 is designed to naturally energize your body and mind with 2% super high quality from the vitamin B12.
Triple kill.
Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower has fallen. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Your top tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack.
No, Ocean Thomas, no. Upon you.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Dire structures are fortified.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your top tower has fallen. Your bottom barracks are under attack.
Roger, Roger. Yes, sir.
Your bottom barracks are under attack. Your bottom barracks has fallen. Your bottom barracks are under attack. Your top shrine is under attack. Your tower has fallen.
Nice sound. Monster kill.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower has. Your middle barracks are under attack. Your middle barracks has fallen. Your middle barracks are under attack. Your middle tower is under attack. Your top shrine is under attack. Your middle barracks has fallen. Your middle tower is under attack. Enemy's bottom tower has fallen. Sean has fallen to the ground.
Immortality!
My nigga!
Meytar has fallen.
The amazing, the powerful filmmaker, Joe Superman Gilbert. Next Sunday, I'll be back. One of the things I'm really proud of is the fact that doing my own research, talking to top scientists, we knew that there was an iodine conspiracy.
Iodine is in every cell of your body.
Iodine deficiency is the commonest preventable cause of brain damage and loss of IQ in the world.
In fact, over 9% of Americans are low in iodine.
Iodine used to be used in bread as a dough enhancer. Then in the early 1970s, most commercial manufacturers switched to bromide instead.
Since 1970, the iodine that they collected in urine is 50% less now than it was then.
Research from a World Health Organization study show that 10 to 50% of people worldwide are deficient in iodine.
Most people, I think everybody, for the most part, should be supplemented with iodine.
And I'm so proud of the fact that since I've been promoting iodine the last 5-6 years, it is now all the rage, health foods, tumors, you name it. But none of them are as pure or as clean as the original Survival Shield X2 at InfoWarsLive.com. I was just about to walk out of the studio to pick my children up, and I got some bad news. For the second time in the 5.5-year history of Survival Shield X2, our flagship product, we are having supply chain problems. And this may be the last batch of this. You see, we have to go through the DEA to get this because it is pure atomic iodine. Everything else out there is bound or it's contaminated. It's not absorbable. It's toxic. We have deep earth crystal source that's so pure that it actually turns into purple gas in the atmosphere. And it's injected into palm oil, organic palm oil, in a proprietary patented process. And so in our own search to get the purest form, we discovered that oil companies and gas drilling companies had a byproduct that they were selling to pharmaceutical companies and also drug makers that they used to make drugs. So the FDA is involved, and that's why the DEA is involved. So it's a major industrial product being used, and that we could actually bring it to the public pure. But you've got to get contracts with oil companies and gas companies to do it. And once they figure out there's a market, they start jacking up the price. So we have a run of this, a limited run. We have a good supply right now. We're talking maybe 2 months of it. But this may be the clincher. We may not have X2 in this configuration in the future. But we're offering it still 25% off until it sells out. Hopefully, just like the last time this happened a few years ago, it's not an issue and we do get more. But right now, you're not able to secure the crystals that produce the purest iodine from our own research and the test in the world. Survival Shield X2 at InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com. You've got to experience what having the good halogen in your body does. Most folks, about 3 weeks, go through a detoxification process. But what it does is for stamina, libido, focus, energy is really amazing. And if you don't have true iodine, pure iodine, you will end up having all sorts of disorders, just like water, just like oxygen. Without iodine, it is an essential element. It's available exclusively. Survival Shield X2, InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com. And I hope, like a few years ago, that we can work this out. It's just right now we're kind of over a barrel, so I want listeners and viewers, everybody to know this stuff has a very, very long shelf life. I personally have stockpiled it. Your purchases fund the operation fighting for free speech, the Second Amendment, national sovereignty. So it is a true 360 win. Again, the term I coined, or what they said before, a non-zero sum game. So get your Survival Shield X2 today, along with other great products, InfoWarsLife.com, and fund the tip of the spear in the fight for free speech and human dignity worldwide. This could potentially be the end of Survival Shield X2 as we know it. If you love the original like I do and thousands of others have, it's available now for a limited time at InfoWarsStore.com.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. Live on the Infowars.com studios, it's Alex Jones.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. Joel Gilbert joining you for this final hour of the show. I want to talk about what's going on with the Democrats and the black community. This is the holy grail for the Democrats. They rely on 90% of the black vote, typically coming from urban areas, in order to send people to Congress and in order to support their national candidates. This week we saw Kanye West came out with tweets supporting President Trump. He specifically said Barack Obama did nothing for blacks, that things got worse under Obama. And he said, I refuse to be enslaved by monolithic thought. And he even shared a text message from his buddy John Legend, who was probably horrified that Kanye went ahead and shared his actual text on Twitter, where John Legend said, "Hey, you know, you're risking your legacy and all your fans." And Twitter suddenly dropped Kanye West's followers by 9 million within like an hour. They had to restore it. Some clown over at Twitter probably got rid of a lot of his followers, but they had to put them back. And we had Kanye West standing his ground. He said, no, I refuse to be enslaved. I refuse to be enslaved. I can like Donald Trump. We had Chance the Rapper come in and said, blacks don't have to be Democrats. And this all started because of Candace Owen from Turning Point USA. She's the one that spoke at an event and said, things like, you know, Democrats owned the body of black people during slavery. Now they want to own my mind. And she said, they cannot own my mind anymore. So this issue, it terrifies Democrats because they rely on getting the black community to vote for them, despite the fact that they're working against their interests. Now, I made a movie called There's No Place Like Utopia a few years ago. And in that film, it was kind of like a Michael Moore film. If you haven't seen it, I'm running around the country to progressive cities like Chicago, Detroit, Newark, where the Democrats have been in control for 50, 60 years. And they all have drug cultures, single motherhood, terrible education, taxes went higher, and they drove businesses out of the city. Yet the Democrats still have a hold on these people voting for them. So let's take a look at the trailer. We'll watch just about a minute of the trailer from There's No Place Like Utopia, and I'm going to talk more about the reactions of the people I talked to in the inner cities. Let's play the trailer.
Oh, we're glad you landed in Oz. We've got a wizard here. He can solve your problems.
Because he's special.
You can keep your doctor. Keep your plan.
People on welfare assistance here mostly?
That's the whole city.
We're going to replace capitalism with socialism. So we're making the world as it should be.
Utopia. It's the kingdom of heaven on earth. That's what they believe.
Everything is going up. We're just getting poor, honestly.
There's no home left anymore. They're stuck in Oz. They never get home.
That's the portion of the trailer I wanted you to see. I'm going to take questions throughout the hour on this film, as well as some other films, Atomic Jihad about the Iranian nuclear program, and also Dreams from My Real Father. If you want to call in, please call at 1-877-789-2539. That's 1-877-789-ALEX. Now, you saw I talked to a lot of black folks in Chicago, and the first thing they said was, we don't want illegals. We don't want marijuana legalized. We don't want businesses being driven out of our communities because we want good jobs. We want lower taxes. We don't want our daughters using the public restroom with men. We want more police. Now, these people sound like conservatives. Especially black women are the greatest conservatives in the country. And then you ask them, well, who'd you vote for? Are you going to vote Republican? They say, no, we vote Democrat. And I said, but look, everything you believe in is Democrats believe in. They've created these drug cultures, violent community, everybody's on welfare. Nothing got better, just like Kanye West said, nothing got better under Obama. So the first thing they start to say is, well, you know, wait a minute. They start to rethink the situation because they've been inundated with these Democrat politicians and narrative that Republicans are racist, when in fact a lot of people are catching on, like Candace Owens, Kanye West, that will know maybe the Democrats don't have our interest at heart. And Kanye West is saying, well, we shouldn't just give all of our vote away to one party. Let them earn it. So let's take our first caller. We want to talk a little bit about and the very dangerous movement that seems to be starting for the Democrat Party if they lose their hold on the black vote. Can we bring up the first caller? Isaac, go ahead. Hi, Isaac, go ahead.
I apologize. I haven't seen your video Utopia yet, but my family settled in Fredericksburg, Texas in 1840, and they left Denmark. And I was doing some research on them and following my family's origins, and I found out in Germany in 1840, they really expelled a lot of liberal thinkers called the Darmstadt 40, who left the Gothenburg College. I'm probably pronouncing a lot of German wrong, but they came all the way to Texas to do a thought experiment. During that 40, and they wanted to build a utopia in the middle of Texas. And they thought they had no rules, no law. It was a disaster within 2 years. They all dispersed. Some of them went back home. But the origins of this Darmstadt 40 goes all the way to Christian Oersted. He had created some of the first electronic.
Okay. All right, thank you for the call. I'm going to comment because we don't have that much time in the segment. Look, it's been tried many times. Thomas More, Marx's Workers' Paradise, Stalinism, Pol Pot, Mao Zedong, everywhere they tried to create this perfect world with a paradise on earth, it always failed. And that's the difference between conservatives and liberals and leftists. Leftists, socialists, communists, they look at America and compare it to the perfect society, the perfect world, and they conclude, okay, we have to tear it down and destroy it because it's not perfect. Conservatives compare America to the rest of the world, and we say we love America, we want to build it up. That's the basic difference. And the Democrats are putting black people and minorities out in the front and saying, look, they don't have a perfect world. They don't have all these services and things that everybody else has, so we have to take down and start the system all over again. And I think black people are catching on that the Democrats have never had their interest at heart. They're only looking to use them to further an agenda to take power. And that's what Barack Obama did when he was in office. Nothing got better. We're going to talk about Chicago and Obama and how that evolved right when we come back from the break. This is InfoWars.
Fuel your body with Carnivore, the new digestive enzyme product by InfoWars Life. Digestive enzymes assist in the digestion process and increase the bioavailability of nutrients by breaking down foods into easily absorbable components. They also help prevent discomfort from indigestion caused by fermentation of undigested food particles in the gut. Digestive enzyme production declines as we age. Carnivore is filled with digestive enzymes like those naturally present in the body. Enjoy the full potential of protein-rich foods again. You can eat protein-heavy foods now while minimizing the later indigestion and discomfort commonly associated with high-meat diets. Just one pill with every high-protein meal helps increase the bioavailability and absorption of amino acids, the building blocks to your muscles. Carnivore also contains digestive enzymes to help digest fats and carbohydrates so you can fully digest all types of meals. Don't let a meal go to waste. Use Carnivore by InfoWars Life. Head to InfoWarsLife.com and secure your bottle now. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
Alpha Power, vital male androgen biosynthesis promoter. Now, I've got page after page after page of the science, of the research, and the facts on the ingredients in Alpha Power. But here's what you want to know. You want to go to InfoWarsStore.com and read the hundreds and hundreds of 5-star third-party reviews on this product. And also remember that when it came out 4 months ago, it sold out in 3 weeks. Because people that know about these type of products looked at the ingredients list and looked at the potency list, and people went crazy. We set out to look at the already best-selling brands out there and make it even better, even stronger, and basically souped up. It's got the best of ancient science with the latest developments as well. It's Alpha Power, and quite frankly, I don't even really need to take Alpha Power. If I take Alpha Power, which I do occasionally, if I feel down or don't feel like I have a lot of energy, it makes me have incredible stamina, amazing libido, and also I already have not really anger issues, but I'm a little bit aggressive sometimes. And so Alpha Power is so strong that I personally don't take it a lot. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh man, it's really great, it really works. I'm going to tell you, be careful with Alpha Power, because I said I want to dominate the industry. I want people to know that we put the most money into this of any other product out there. And I'm going to explain this. This is critical. The average supplement, you look this up online, there's industry publications, Wall Street Journal, has a 5 to 7 times markup. That's a 500 to 700% markup. Our average markup is about 130% or so. Some are 90%, some are 150. You got marketing, other costs to go in. But here's an example. The average male or female enhancement over-the-counter supplement has some real stuff in it, a little bit in it. Many times the bottle, it's a nice glass bottle, costs more than the ingredients that these companies put out. Because I work with the top 4 formulators in the country, and they say, listen, no one puts as much as you do into these. They said your leading competitors might put $6, $7 in, and you're putting $15, $20, $30, $40, depending on the product. in them. Nobody else does that. Well, we do, and that's why they're so powerful. Bottom line, you're getting top-of-the-line supplements that people absolutely love, that have blown me away, that fund the info war, and we are industry leaders in quality testing and the amount of the best product that we put into the product that ends up getting delivered to your door. So you can the best supplements at the very, very best price. And you fund the info war that's giving the whole world incredible results against the globalists. A 360 win. Again, Alpha Power sold out for months. The second shipment is now in at InfoWarsLife.com or InfoWarsStore.com by calling toll free 888-253-3139. A total 360 win.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Welcome back to The Alex Jones Show. Joel Gilbert back with you. We're talking about this phenomenon. This week, Kanye West, Chance the Rapper, Candace Owens. This may be the week that the black community starts to take a hard look at the Democrats and how they've abandoned them and used them over the years for their votes while doing absolutely nothing for them, including Barack Obama. We saw during the last election, I made the film called Banished, the untold story of Danny Williams, Bill Clinton's black son living in Arkansas, whose aunt took him to the governor's mansion when he was 5 years old, had the door slammed in his face, and they didn't care about Danny Williams. Guess who else didn't care about Danny Williams? Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter made fun of him. They didn't even contact him. They just tried to make fun of him and dismiss him because they had an agenda to support the Democrats, not an agenda to help black people. We're going to be talking more about this monumental week for the black community where the tide may be turning and the Democrats are living in terror right now that black people might start to re-examine their blind faith in the Democrat Party. You can call in at 1-877-789-ALEX. That's 1-877-789-2539. Now, most of you have seen my film, Dreams from My Real Father, and Obama's story is typical of what the black community has suffered from liberals and communists. Barack Obama's real father, as I showed in my film, was not the Kenyan goat herder. It was a Russian agent named Frank Marshall Davis, who was in Chicago, who the white communists got to help try to bring black people into the communist movement in the 30s. Let's take a quick look at part of the trailer for Dreams from My Real Father.
My father was a foreign student, born and raised in a small village in Kenya. He grew up herding goats.
Frank Marshall Davis, writer.
Okay, just wanted you to play this trailer because Obama's father, Frank Marshall Davis, was recruited into the Communist Party to help convince black people in Chicago to join the communist movement in the 30s. Black people were no fools. They were religious, church-going people, hardworking, strong families, and they rejected Frank Marshall Davis and the communism he represented because it was atheist. Davis later went to Hawaii on orders of the Kremlin. His son, Barack Obama, he raises Barack Obama by Obama's own admission, and Frank Marshall Davis radicalizes Obama into this Marxist worldview. Obama ends up back in Chicago where his father is from, and the same thing happens. The white communists recruit Obama to try to trick black people into joining the socialist movement. But 50 years later, black people in Chicago are no fools. They rejected Obama. He ran for Congress. They didn't vote for him. Bobby Rush won. It was only the white liberals that supported Obama and pushed him into the national spotlight. Let's take Orange in Texas. Go ahead with your question about any of my films or the way that the Democrats have been using the black community for years and years.
You know, I have all 3 of your films. Dreams of My Real Father. You know, yeah, there's no place like Utopia. But you know, one thing, you know, I lived in Florida and I've seen a lot of Cubans, and they told me all about Castro and how communism has destroyed the human dignity, the human spirit. If you want to really see communism in its rapid YouTube and go look up the movie The Chekist that was made in 1992 in Russia. If you want to see graphic communism, how it destroys the human spirit, go see that movie, The Chekist. But as far as like you know, as far as like Black America, you know, I've seen how you know, the great destroyed the Black family. I remember one time, I'm 51 years old, that Black Americans used to be the most righteous, upright people. Now you can't really find them anymore.
Well, let me comment. Thanks for your call. Look, Black people are very righteous. They're very family-oriented. They're very close-knit families. I think it's actually hard to find a Black child to adopt because the grandparents or the parents of the child or the grandparents will raise that child because they're so close-knit people. If you saw my film, There's No Place Like Utopia, I talked to a lot of Black people all over, and a lot of them were on welfare, and they're very unhappy about it. They're very unhappy about it. They don't want to be on welfare. They don't want to be on these assistance programs. It's embarrassing. And that's why Trump has made such inroads, because he's got the lowest Black unemployment. And he even announced that to the State of the Union address. And guess who wouldn't even clap or even stand up? Was the Black caucus. These Black people that have been coerced into the Democrat Party that just follow that line and are not looking after the interests of the Black community who probably voted. Let's take from Jim. Go ahead, Jim. Okay, Jim, are you there? Okay, looks like we don't. Is it Jim in Virginia, or who is it? Let's go with Alexander in Virginia instead. Go ahead, Alex.
The focus of breaking the Democratic hold over the Black vote should be going into their path with Jim Crow, the reversal of Reconstruction, the KKK, all this stuff. But now Democrats are getting away with the illusion switched in the past, and so all that actually happened from the Republican Party. And that's what I hear from people. They are convinced that all those things in the past was a result of Republicans.
Right. That's what a lot of. Thank you for the call. A lot of statistics around now, the Democrats represent our interests, but now you've got admired Black cultural figures like Kanye West. I mean, who's bigger than him? That are openly questioning why Black communities give away their votes to the Democrats. It really hasn't done anything for them. We saw Chance the Rapper came right away and said, you don't have to be a Democrat. So this is the biggest nightmare of the Democrat Party, because if they lose, let's say the Black vote is 20%, and even bigger in Democrat primaries, 10% of it, Democrat Party is finished. But the trick that the Democrats have done with Barack Obama is to try to get Black leaders to join the Democrat Party and trick Black people into thinking, well, here's a Black guy, and he's going to look right. Barack Obama didn't do anything for the Black community. He did a lot for Iran. He did a lot for Russia. He was very pro-Russia in his first term. He did a lot for illegals. He did a lot for Hondurans. He did a lot for Mexicans. He didn't do anything for Black people. And I think they realize it now that just because someone has races them doesn't mean they're going to look after their interests. I think Donald Trump, a white guy, has done a lot more to achieve employment goals and all the agenda that the Democrats have been promising for years and years. Education is going to get better. Schools reduce the violence, get rid of the violence. So it's a monumental week because this really is the tipping point, I think, where if you have Kanye West saying you don't have to be a Democrat and Chance the Rapper, and John Legend comes and says, no, Hillary Clinton's, you know, Hillary Clinton. John Legend comes and says, no, you can't do that. And Kanye West said, well, yes, I can. So on this debate in the black community with the Democrats, the stranglehold is beginning to be broken. When we come back, we're going to come back with Larry Klayman to talk about the Senate committee trying to protect the Mueller probe. We'll be right back.
I'll try to see what they say. And they have talked about for decades that a lot of the mental disorders, a lot of the behavioral disorders, a lot of the autism spectrum disorders are in the gut from the diets and vaccines that trigger autoimmune responses in the stomach that then create major toxicity in the gut, causing toxicity in the brain. Here's a big BBC report today. How bacteria are changing your mood. If you have the wrong ones, you're depressed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been sold out for months. MycoZX is back. Antifungal, anti-yeast, anti-candida. It goes in and knocks out the walls in your intestines. They let them wall in, but the nutrients go through. They get what they want first. They colonize you. Then they secrete toxins in you that cause depression. They can even secrete toxins when they want more sugar. This is well known. Nuclear with MycoZX exclusively at InfoWarsLive.com. You think our information's hardcore? You think our focus is brutal? Try our nutraceuticals. Try our supplements. We've taken Plus now at 20% more in the bottle and even more hardcore formula. You owe it to yourself to get these products. They really have worked for myself, my family. They have 5-star reviews by the thousands. Secure your Infowars Plus today. InfoWarsLive.com. Now 20% stronger. Again, InfoWarsLive.com. Introducing Icarus, a 30-day liver and kidney cleanse, exclusively available at InfoWarsLive.com. We have set out with top researchers and developers to bring you the strongest, purest, most potent, documented different formula blends in one powerful capsule. It also funds the InfoWar a total 360 win. Icarus. Available now at InfoWarsLive.com. This is Roger Stone for InfoWars. The left has Jones, probably a bunch of bogus lawsuits against him that are just, we need you to go to the InfoWars store and click on the donate button. We need your help. I know Christ is real. I know these evil people. If they hear the name Jesus Christ, they get upset. Hillary's the Washington Post. Any dead person but Jesus Christ. She says she won't do that. They fear the name. They know it's real. It's real. We need to pray to Jesus Christ and leave God to direct us and heal this land if that's God's will.
Hey Alex, can you tell me a bedtime prayer?
We pray in your Son's precious name, Jesus Christ, for that blood on Calvary, on Golgotha, that frees us from this evil. We accept that and we take it evil and stand against evil no matter what happens. We're sorry for all we've done and not being good enough. Please just heal our land because we don't want to be ruled by Satanists that hurt children, kill children, and sell their body parts in the communist Chinese. In your precious name, His blood, Jesus Christ.
Alex, I love you.
Your top tower is under attack.
I'm gonna go home and cry tonight because you bossed me around. Oh, I gotta do what you say because you're so liberal. You're a flaming fascist piece of trash, control freak, divide and conquer, maggot, failure, piece of crap. Excuse me. I break free of your mind control, self. You'd be like a gazelle in the African savannah that saw a pride of lions, and it said, well, I'm going to be friendly to the lions, and they'll like me. I'm going to go show my belly. The gazelles up.
Alex, I love you.
I'm gonna go home and cry tonight. You're around. What you say. So you're a fascist piece of shit. And it said, well, leave the lions and they'll like me. I'm gonna go lay down and show them my belly. I'll tell the lions where the gazelles are. And as the little gazelle walks over, hi, lion. Kind of powerful. You're my friend. It was like real feminine. Go, oh, oh, oh.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, Alexa, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ is a fictional character.
daily
Your bottom barrels are under attack.
Cry tonight, cause you boss me around. I gotta do what you say, cause you're so liberal. Fashion. Trendy, I was trendy. It flops around, blood spewing. As long as you just do it in the voice like this, and go, oh, it's very over looks like real effective. Okay, Alexa, who is the Lord Jesus Christ?
Jesus Christ is a fictional character.
So no daily show because Thanksgiving, holidays, but families and such. We noticed something. A lot of you have Alexas and Googles and these sort of new...
The Apple one.
There's an app.
Ay, TikTok, aber TikTok. TikTok. Okay.
Eternal Envy. Just risking it with the low health consistently. Oh, he just... I didn't even get a chance to say anything. Everybody knows you never come from longevity. My mind is... Are you serious? I got that second.
What